Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be here with another game of Dota.
Radiant team
And this is, we're going to be leaving the Deadly Gaming Cup behind, which I think actually the group stage of that has now been done. We're going to be going into the Starladder League, which is going to be Team Alpha versus Bexprawie on the Starladder Pro. Both of them kind of making their way here through slightly different ways. Bexprawie was in the Amateur League last season, managed to get through here through a qualifier, while Team Alpha has basically built themselves up all the way through the Semi-League. However, right now, as things are currently going, as standings are, you know, both of them are desperately looking for a win. Both of them have only one win, although GGOZ or Team Alpha have one loss extra due to having played one extra game. Which means that right now, although it's still also played for, considering the fact that we're right at the beginning of the season, and no one's played more than 4 games. And 4 games out of 16 is not enough. You know, still anyone could take this. Both these two teams would definitely like to kick off with a second win. You know, just to give them a little bit of safety at this point in the tournament. Make sure they're not going to get knocked back down to that semi-pro league. Obviously, Bexprawie, I can't actually find much about this team. They seem to have played a bit in the Starladder amateur season, but apart from that, not really done very much else. On the other hand, though, Team Alpha currently on the JDL Division 3, I think Division 3-5 Europe, which they're 7-3, so more than likely going to make their way through to that Division 2-3 playoffs. So it should be some interesting stuff for them, as you know, maybe we might be seeing them cast on another tournament in the future. Obviously, though, that isn't that tournament. We're going to be going right into this game, and we do see the current picks and bans, which the only real interesting ban is that Lycan. Maybe Bez don't really like to play against it. Maybe it's just a simple case of they know something about Team Alpha that I don't. But either way, that Lycan ban, it's usually either targeted at a certain strategy you want to run or a certain team. Certain teams you always ban the Lycan. If you're playing against EG, you ban the Lycan just because they're so good at it. And because of that, it does mean the Tidans of Jakiro and Bexprawie are all going to get picked up. 3 extraordinarily high tier picks. Bexprawie, they keep nerfing her ultimate, but, you know, she's still sat around and teams are just like, well, you've nerfed her frankly amazing ultimate, you know, kick-ass ultimate for another 10-second cooldown. I guess we'll just wait 10 seconds till we win another team fight. And obviously, Jakiro, you know, that liquid fire, we may no longer be in the 15-minute all towers down push meta, but that push meta aside, Jakiro is still pretty sweet. He's got a nuke, he's got a stun, he can knock down towers like nothing else like liquid fire. What else do you want from a support? Well, there's a lot of things you're going to want from a support, but what realistically are you going to get from a support? Now, on the other hand, we do have a Tidehunter picked up on the opposite side. Going to be a Tidehunter, the big green dude. Possibly one of the better offlaners in the entire game right now. You just simply press R and voila, you've won a team fight, so to say. He's good at initiating, good at counter-initiating. He forces people to get BKBs just for one hero. There is literally nothing this hero can do apart from maybe hard carry. And in return, we're also going to get the Scarth Mage. Scarth Mage tied into a very, very nice combo, just simply because they come up together and you get that Ravage off, and then the Scarth Mage targets at least one player, and that player is probably going to go down with all the other magic damage going to be flying around in various team fights. Now, while this is happening, we do see the Jakiro is going to be sat. The Jakiro Bexprawie does suggest that Bexprawie are going to want to go for some kind of a push strategy. And the interesting thing we got to note right now is that obviously this is a best of 1. So it isn't a best of 3 where you can cheese one game and then you have to kind of play real for the other 2. But, you know, pocket strategies, these are the times that you pull out your pocket strategies. Best of 1 matches in a league like the Pro Series, you just simply pull them out, hope that your pushing cheese lineup works. And if it does, you've got a win on the board. You've got your 3 points and everyone's happy. Now, talking about happy, we are going to be waiting here for this next few picks, and the bans are taking their time. Both the two teams using all of their available extra time, which is, you know, always nice to see to some extent, just simply because of It's just simply because it means that the team's discussing about what they want to do. It's when you start eating into your extra time the worry appears. Now, the Lich, Ogre Magi, and Starladder getting banned. Now, the really weird, interesting one like that is the Starladder. We've kind of seen him make a small comeback from never being picked at all the way up to slightly being picked. But either way, he's not really a hero that you immediately go, oh my god, we need to make sure that we don't play against him. Even lineups that he kind of counters with lots of invisibility or lots of aversion to physical damage, it still isn't the easiest, it isn't the hardest to go. He often doesn't carry that well without a lot of lucky bashes. He can be kited around pretty much without his blink dagger. And obviously on the opposite side, I'd say the Lich is a little bit of an interesting ban as well. Although it does make sense with that Tidehunter coming in. A Lich ultimate countered with that, as well as with the Tidehunter offlane, Tidehunter Lich offlane. Those two heroes have been picked up a lot more together recently. On the opposite side, though, we do also see the Vengeful Spirit and Sand King going to get picked up. So we're both setting up into a huge, two very heavily mid-game heroes. You know, these two teams, they're going to be wanting to, although gank early on with the Vengeful Spirit, the Jakiro, Scarlet Mage, Sand King, lots of early ganking potential of both these two teams. In reality, they're going to want to get their level 6s, get their abilities, then simply smash each other in the face until one of them falls over. As it is worth noting that Team Alpha are a European team. I think they're made up of a mixture of teams from, I didn't quite have a look at all their stuff, but it is a mixture of teams, stuff like Germany was one of the players I saw. I think Germany, there was a few Turkish players in there. While Bez, they are Polish, meaning they've got that Russian metagame of just simple, pure, in-your-face aggression. As we're going to see, an Enigma picked up, so going in for even more team fight, but slightly less laning stage, slightly less early game ganking, and just that suggests to me they might want to go for a Jakiro core, which, well, that could work. We do see the Enigma is going to get picked up, and I do feel this Enigma could be in a bit of trouble with another Zeus picked up, the second one of the day. Hopefully this one will do a little bit better than the last one. As I'm going to have to go see where exactly this Team Alpha are from. They're from all over the place. A bit of German, Swedish, and even a Macedonian in there.
Remaining.
Yep, King is from the country with the fun star as a flag, or the fun like sun thing. From that lovely country of Macedonia, and well, a very nice varied mix. Either way though, we're going to be waiting for these last few bans, as obviously the Zeus is going to be interesting, especially considering the fact that you see this lightning bolt. This lightning bolt does slightly stun. This means that Enigma is going to have a super hard time getting a good ultimate off. You've got a Sand King who can Burrow Strike, you've got a Scarlet Mage who can silence, you've got a Tidehunter who can ultimate if he really needs to, and even a Zeus who's got several abilities to disjoint that ultimate from Enigma.
Radiant team pick.
So it's going to be a bit interesting. At the same time, though, I don't think Enigma's greatest strength in his lineup is his ultimate. Yes, his ultimate is still awesome as always, but at the same time, it's just simply a case of Eidolons are good at pushing, and we see here there are three heroes right now very good at pushing. 4 if you count the Vengeful Spirit Aura, but that's a little bit, yeah, in terms of whether that's actually a pushing ability or not.
10 seconds.
But right now, Bez, they're going for straight up push. As in they're just going to want to get level 6 on Death Prophet, get that level 7 Jakiro, get Enigma up with the mech, and just simply go and smash towers down. And Team Alpha, I feel, are in a good position to stand up that kind of aggression. Their lane clear is pretty good with the Sand King and Tidehunter, and they've got the team fight. If Bez want to go force a team fight, Team Alpha, they are willing to take it. Especially with a Tidehunter with his Ravage, you've got the Sand King with his ultimate, Zeus with his huge amounts of magic damage, lasers flying everywhere. And obviously, we did actually miss the bans of the last stage. Too much talk about lasers. Got me distracted. As we do have the Naga Siren is going to get banned out on the Team Alpha side. The Naga Siren, you know, it'd be a solid pick here. Very good at split pushing, very good at stopping team fights would be pretty good at setting up the Enigma Black Hole, so I do understand that ban coming out there from Team
10
Alpha.
seconds
While the Slark is going to be the one banned out on the opposite side.
Remaining.
The little fishy, just kind of not being able to join in this time. I can see where they're coming from with the Slark. He's very survivable, although a lot of Bez's team fight is AoE, meaning that the Slark wouldn't have the greatest time on dodging those team fights. Now we do see the Weaver is going to get picked up, and that could do pretty well, although again, very, very risky with the Scarith Mage. You know, Scarith Mage, he has that silence. Sand King has a stun. You've got the Tidehunter with his ultimate. If they just catch the Weaver out once, they can easily nuke him down and burst him out as the... Wow, I was saying we wanted a team fight, and they pick up the Anti-Mage. The Anti-Funners join the game. And Anti-Fun or not, well, I do like this pickup to some extent. There's not really anyone on the opposite team that can go up against an Anti-Mage, even late game, because often one of the issues you see with Anti-Mage is he'll get past the 30-minute mark, he'll have amazing farm, but then he kind of starts scaling off past the 40-50 minute mark, and after that, other carriers out-carry an Anti-Mage. But, in this situation, the Weaver does not out-carry an Anti-Mage, as in maybe with better farm, but realistically that's never going to happen. A Death Prophet does not out-carry an Anti-Mage, not with all the items that Anti-Mage can pick up. Meaning that what Team Alpha are doing, they're saying you've got an Enigma, so you can't really do much in the early game. You've got to just sit back and let your Enigma farm, so we're going to mostly let you. We're not going to put that much aggression in terms of an aggressive tri-lane. We're just going to go say, we have a good, we know that you can't do an aggressive tri-lane, so we're just going to go for an Anti-Mage. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now, the interesting thing about the Anti-Mage is simply the fact there's a lot of lockdown on this team. You've got the Jakiro with his Ice Path, you've got the Vengeful Spirit, and in fact it looks like they may be going for an aggressive tri-lane, which... No, it looks like they're not. But either way, it looks like there's not going to be a customary beginning of game pause, so let's go right into looking at these teams we do have on Team Alpha. The Anti-Mage is going to be played by King. Looking here with his, like, Bane mask. We do have the Scarlet Mage, he's going to be played by Mickey. And Mario coming in for the party, going to be played by Bake Mono. The Sand King, he's going to be played by Hurry. And last but not least, we have the Tidehunter, the Big Green Beast, going to be played by Alpha. In the meanwhile, on the opposite side, we do have a possible 5-man engagement. There's not going to be any smoke. They're just going to simply run in, and Zeus could be in a bit of trouble. Although they are going to spot this happening, and they're all going to just get away, so no one's going to go down more than likely then. So this is going to be Bez. And there's going to be the Vengeful Spirit being played by Roman Emperor. House MD on the Enigma there. Looks like they might be going to Harry. Harry is going to hurry away. Ha ha. Yes. House MD playing Enigma. We have Jinsky on the Jakiro. The Death Prophet on mid is going to be played by Crunch. And last but not least, we have Vampiros. Which sounds like a pretty epic name on that Weaver. And we are going to be going straight into the action as... It looks like they're going looks like they're going aggro try. They're going to get that deny off here on middle. Just help their middle lane a little bit. Get that block off well with the little creeps. As I'm really not sure what they're doing right now. I can kind of see why they're sending this Weaver here. Weaver will have a pretty good matchup against the Tidehunter. Tidehunter's Anchor Smash doesn't really do very much against the range of a Weaver. But at the same time, this Jakiro is going to have to be super duper careful. As they definitely can nuke him down. In fact, we do actually see the Zeus is going to pick up First Bloods right there. Not quite sure what Vengeful Spirit was already doing, but they are going to pick her off. And that is going to be a failed mid gank coming out and a huge advantage coming out for Zeus. Already almost level 2. Practically at his bottle without even needing to do anything. Going to eat up one of those tangos, but that is going to be, 1-0. Very nice start there for Team Alpha. And as we sat here at the beginning of this game, I don't see a lot happening here, as in, Weaver can probably kill the Tidehunter if Tidehunter goes a little bit too aggressive, but I realistically don't see that happening. The Jakiro is going to have to be super careful. If he gets stunned by the Sand King, that is a very, very dead dragon. As it looks like Jakiro is going to basically be here to stop those creep balls, but it wasn't quite fast enough. And in fact, he's going to creep pull his own creep wave, so this could be interesting. As we do actually see multiple creep pulls. In fact, this is basically going to be a new lane coming out right here. Well, it would be if the creeps hadn't gone back to the enemy creep. So, a very nice job here coming out from the offlaner. Jakiro is going to have to be super careful, though. He's going to probably get pushed out of experience range. Hurry. He's got a... Did he go level 1 stun? Yes, he did, obviously. You really got to wait till level 3 before you go for that jungle build. And while this is happening, we do see Venge has kind of rotated on to try and help his Weaver, as Tide does have to be a little bit careful. He's only got level 1 in Kraken Shell and level 1 in Anchor Smash against a Weave who's already level 3. Or level 2, I mean, in Anchor Smash. Now, while this is happening, the interesting thing to note is that currently the Death Prophet is winning in terms of last hits, which is very interesting considering the fact that the Death Prophet, you know, didn't get that first blood, meaning I'd expect Zeus to have had the advantage there. At the same time, Death Prophet is probably one of those heroes which can outlast hit a Zeus just simply because he's got more spam ability than Zeus does, which is saying something. Jakiro doing a pretty good job right now, surviving, and in fact currently 6-0, which is very good for a solo Jakiro offlane. In fact, very good for solo Jakiro offlane in this kind of lane, as all it's going to take is him just make one mistake and he's going to go down. But while this is happening, he's getting the levels up, able to get that liquid fire up, and able to start doing that harassment. Harry's already level 2, managed to get that Sandstorm. Going to be looking for his level 3 ASAP. Well enough, ASAP, actually a phrase that originated in France, if I remember. I can't remember the exact phrase. But its original meaning doesn't actually stand for as soon as possible. Interesting Dota fact of the day. Well, non-Dota fact of the day. Now, while this is happening, we do see the Death Prophet starting to bully out the Zeus out of this lane a little bit, just simply because the constant harassment from this Crypt Swarm, and the fact that Zeus went for only the 2 tangos. Yeah, and the 2 tangos means that every single Crypt Swarm hurts so much, especially with only the fact that he doesn't really have the ability to go bottle currying. Now, the Weaver currently is the highest last hitter in the game, doing a pretty good job here for Bez right now. In fact, but the only real difference between these 2 lanes is, as we see, Zeus is gonna pick up the Death Prophet.
She dared to tell the future of a god.
Second kill miss right now. Kind of happens when your 3rd game in a row. As we do actually see that it looks like a nice little gank there coming out, and this combo is a very potent gankable combo. As that is going to be 2-0 for Alpha, so although they're behind in terms of last hits, with this mid lane doing a lot better than Zeus, or was doing a lot better than Zeus, in terms of just general kills, we do see Pez are behind by 2 right now, although they do get one in return here on this bottom lane against the Tide Hunter. That haste rune coming very in handy by Vengeful Spirit. And I am really not doing very well today in terms of hitting these kills. Currently 0-3. If the Tide just going to be getting harassed back. His death is going to hurt him a bit in terms of his farm, as Weaver's going to be sat on level 5, and we do see the Weaver is going to get anchor smashed out, and that's one of the disadvantages of trying to kill with Weaver. And meanwhile, we do see a possible rotation gank coming out from Vengeful Spirit. She has smoked herself up. And this opportunity, smoking may be bad for Zeus's health. He's kind of just sat there at the wall, waiting for Zeus just to go forward 2 bit, and this may be his moment. He's going to make his way forward, and this could be a very dead Mario. The stun's going to come out, eventually. So is some armor. Just need a few more right clicks. This could be a very, very dead Brother Luigi, but it's not going to happen. As he just escapes, he's going to have to be forced back to base, and that's almost as good as a kill. I say almost, it's not really, but at the same time, it does give this Death Prophet basically free uncontested farm for at least 1 or 2 waves, and does mean that Zeus isn't going to be farming up. Jakiro still doing a pretty good job of not dying, and in fact, it's now starting to harass out this Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage has picked himself up a ring of health, meaning he's able to, you know, start contesting against his Liquid Fire. But either way, it is a bit of a pain. So he's going to be able to make his way back. Still level 6 against the level 6 Death Prophet, who's taking the lead in terms of last hits and experience. That harassment doing a very nice job. As Tide Hunter's going to have to be super careful. He has picked up his Mana Boots, but he's got no teleportation scroll. The Watermelon is going to get out of there, though. And in fact, it looks like he's going to be trying to get his level 6 at some point. Weaver's got his level 6 first, and it looks like they want to go for a kill right now. We do see Enigma. He's farming up with the jungle, but if he can get the stun off on Tide, as they do know where he is, as the ultimate is used, The Kraken Shell, it does nothing against the force of gravity, dragging him back towards his death, and that's going to be a nice kill there coming out for Bez, making it 2-2. As that offlaner has now died twice, and right before he gets his level 6. Now, meanwhile, Jakiro somehow kills Scarlet Mage. It is a 1-for-1 trade, so I'm not sure who got the better of that exchange. Getting a kill on your anti-mage is pretty huge, but at the same time, getting a kill on your offlane is also pretty sweet. And we're just seeing kills coming out all over the place now, as both these two teams have the ability to go, you know, in-your-face epic ganking. As Alpha, or Ints, in fact, as I just kind of noticed that Alpha is in his tag instead. He is going to get the Anchor Smash off on the Weaver. While Zeus continues, and we see the Wraith King, he's going to start jungling up right now. He's got a triple stack right now, but one of them are the fated Mud Golems. Let's face it, no, that's Mud Golems. It looked like he is trying to go for some damage, but nowhere near killing Crunch right now. Like, that was a little bit of a wasted ultimate, because there was no way with just one Lightning Bolt and the ultimate he was going to take him down. I guess harassing him out of lane so that he can't take the rune that's going to be coming in a few moments is a nice move by him. But at the same time, it is going to be 70. It is only 70 seconds, I guess. Now, whilst this is happening, Jakiro, he has managed to hit that level 6. Going for a level 6 in Macropire. You know, a lot of Jakiros don't go for that level 6. We just see the TP coming in. Looks like they're going to want to go stop pushing down this tier 1 tower. That liquid fire almost maxed out. And with the Weaver as well, this tower should go down pretty quickly. Vengeful Spirit going to get herself a bounty rune. Like the chocolate bar with slightly less coconuts. And in fact, we do see Bakermon's going to have to be super careful. He does get hit, but does have that haste rune, so he's always going to be pretty fine. Although he is going to have to be careful that he doesn't get ganked right now, just like from someone coming in from the side. Going to pop his haste rune and probably going to be trying to bottle himself up, dropping all his items to get that extra regen that he desperately so needs. In the meanwhile, this tier 1 tower attack is making its way making itself known as, I don't really see at this moment, due to the fact that Tidehunter has hit his level 6 but uses Ravage at some point, probably to try and escape against a 3-man gank. There's nothing they can really do to stop this tier 1 tower going down, and that is going to be the first tower of the game going down and the start of Bez's pushing, and this is where things start to get a little bit weird for Team Alpha. In the meanwhile, they're going to be trying to counter push with his anti-mage. Without his items, he's not the greatest pusher in the world. If we have a look at the net worth, he is currently the second highest, so Zeus actually being the highest in the game, even though he's nowhere near in terms of last hits. The kills on mid doing him pretty well, but this is going to be another tier 2 tower going down, and they just couldn't stop that. The tier 2 tower came up, they saw the tower, they came, and they knocked it down. Now, meanwhile, Anti-Mage trying to go for the annoyance, pushing himself, but that right-click damage just doesn't really do much against the strong, mighty buildings. As he is pretty close to his Battle Fury. I think he's probably looking at a 12-13 minute one at the moment. Assuming he doesn't have it apart already on the Korea. No, he doesn't. He is going to be in a little bit more trouble, though, as it looks like at this moment Bez is going to want to start looking towards pushing down this tier 1 tower up on top. Anti-Mage, though, going to be able to continue to farm just fine. He's 1.2k gold away from that much needed item. As Tidehunter, he's nowhere near his blink at the moment. Now, there was a blink currently being picked up by the Sand King, which is actually a pretty nice timing for the Sand King. 10 minutes in, as a support Sand King, level 7, he's just not been stopped at all. He helped in 3 kills, so that's really helped in terms of his gold flow. And 36 last hits in the jungle isn't bad either. Now, we do see a possible team fight coming up, as it looks like that Bez want to go for some kind of mid-push. And they do put down a nice invis wall. I like that wall just in case there's an invis coming in from one of the opposing team to, like, just destroy them in the face. And they can just start harassing down this tower as the Sand King does get his blink off. He's also in lots of trouble, but the ultimate from Tidehunter only going to hit 2 though, and that's going to be more than enough. Lovely team fight there coming out for Alpha, and they're going to look for another one onto Enigma. Enigma kind of turns around, but may realise that maybe he's undoing that. Arcane Bolt almost taking him out, only 40 points of health, but he's going to be able to get away with that regen from the mechanism. But a very nice team fight right there. That's going to put Tidehunter a nice good way towards his Blink Dagger.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We do see this middle tower is starting to be harassed, but not a lot of damage. So they lost the team fight, but not really any tower damage. And at this point, the Ravage is down, so Bears is just like, well, we've still got... Well, they don't have their exorcism, but they do have the rest of their push. So let's just keep going for it. That's their entire strategy right now. Just keep pushing, keep knocking down towers, keep making the opposite team sad. Now, but obviously, there is a risk while they're doing it, is the fact they're not really pressuring Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage right now, second highest farmer in the game. Almost going to have his battle... He's going to have his Battle Fury around about 13 minutes. If not a little bit less than that. As he's already got his Claymore. I just need that second blade.
Dire's middle tower
Now,
under
the Steel 1 tower is going to go down, so they're going to give up a little bit more. But Teal's been coming in for the Sand King. He's going to jump in, misses one or two ticks of it, but that's going to be a very, very dead Jakiro. Jakiro getting nuked down. We see Enigma is going to get silenced up, and they may be going for him as well. Harry has no mana, but it's not going to matter as Zeus just knocks him down with a huge lightning bolt to the face. As I can't tell you from experience, but I'm guessing that hurts. As Anti-Mage is going to have his blade, Battle Fury. Around about 13 minutes in, so very nice timing for him, considering he also went for boots. And that means this Anti-Mage farm is going to start getting out of control. Because you have a faster Battle Fury like this, it means he's going to start going for huge amounts of kills. We see the Tide is going to be trying to get his blink from these Ancients, but they know he's there. A very nice ward spotting him out. And are they going to try and stop him? Oh no, that's the ward on the... Never mind. They don't know he's there. In the meanwhile, we see Scarlet Mage going to pick up another kill here onto middle. Death Prophet going down once again. This has just not been Death Prophet's game. As if we're quick look at the gold, we do see that Bez got off to a good start initially, but now drops all the way down to 3k experience behind. And in terms of gold, well, it's mostly equal, but the Anti-Mage has just come online in terms of farm. 30-minute Blink Dagger very, very quickly. Going to be going for his, probably Manta style next. And the Blink finally on the Tide. So at this moment, both these two teams have all the pieces that they want. Or at least all the pieces that they want in the early to mid game. Late game, we'd like to see Anti-Mage get a lot more farm. Weaver get a lot more farm on this side. As we do see that, once again, Enigma picks up another kill. These two teams playing super aggressive to each other.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As the Zeus is going to go invis, but there is actually counter ward there. So he is going to have to be a little bit careful. As the second ward also goes down, making sure the Zeus has no space to creep in. And this tower, well, probably will go into deny range. Can they get deny? Yes, they can. Scarlet Mage doing a very good job right now. And the smoke does come out. So we do see a smoke attempt coming out from Bezers. They are currently behind him. Going to be falling down even further. They've got to stop this Anti-Mage at some point. This Anti-Mage just getting everything he wants. He's managed to pick up his Power Treads only 2 minutes later after getting his Battle Fury. And now he's just going to keep farming. He's going to be going for probably his Manta style next. As we do see the smoke attempt coming out here on bottom. Also from Team Alpha. So 2 smokes. This one might do something though. So they do have the blink, and the Weaver's there. So if they can get the blink and silence, along with the ultimate, and I don't even think Zeus needed to do that, but I guess it was better safe than sorry. And that's a very nice kill on the Weaver, who was, well, was the highest farmer in the game at one point, but now has kind of dropped behind both the Zeus and the Anti-Mage. Very, very sad stuff there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But another tower does go down. Denied, though, this time once again. So that's 2 tower denies. And at this point, Bez, the only real thing they've got going for them is the amount of push and the amount of team fight they have. But that's going to slip away as this Anti-Mage farms up and the Tide gets his big items and the Sand King keeps hitting ultimates like he has been. So we do actually see Anti-Mage could be in a bit of trouble right now. If they can get the stun, they do get the stun, he doesn't get the blink off. Plenty of stuns and the black hole. Going to be a very down Anti-Mage. Not without an amazing throw right here from the Enigma, and that's going to be a very crucial kill, stopping the Anti-Mage from farming just for a little bit longer. Now, while this happens, it looks like they're going to go kill Weaver again. Just keep killing him. He's got a BKB this time. BKB, a very nice item in terms of stopping that anti-mage. You get silenced off, you just pop it. Pop the BKB. You don't want a Lincoln Sphere, really, because of the main issue in this team fight is this silence. And Scarlet Mage has plenty of abilities to pop to pop a Lincoln Sphere and stop that from happening.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now we see more pushing coming out from this Jakiro, but at the same time, you can't really do very much when an anti-mage TP is in. At this point, the anti-mage is pretty farmed up. He's already got his blade. Probably going to be going for a 20-minute Manta at this point. While the Jakiro has actually had some pretty good farm himself on the offlane. Got Yule Scepter right now, sitting there. As in terms of gold, it's not that far behind. We see that Alpha kind of went all the way down to a 5k lead. We see Zeus is going to try and go for the kill. The Yule Scepter is going to stop him. In fact, this is going to be a turnaround onto the Scarlet Mage. The Zeus managed to get out with a nice TP. And Sand King's kind of sat in the jungle. He's going to be able to escape. And that's going to be a 6-9. Now, while this is all happening, this Enigma looks like he's trying to go for a pipe. Yeah, that looks like he's going for a pipe next. Which I guess makes sense without magic damage the opposing team. Going in for that to Blink Dagger as the third item.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At this point, this might be a Radiant's top tower going down. We see Anti-Mage just get stunned up, but there's not really much he can do. In fact,
Radiant's
not going to be a
top
deny.
tower has fallen.
Nice try there by Jakiro, but the Siege Creep says no.
Oh, that would be a tribute.
Now, we do see that Nigma's pretty close to his pipe right now. But let's have a look at the Zeus. He's picked up a Bloodstone, got all those charges, still on brown boots. Gonna be interesting to see what he goes for next. Maybe a Hood of Discord. Or Veil of Discord, I mean. Veil. I'll say my English words correctly. Or maybe just go complete chav with, yo, it's a head thing of messing up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We do see that Sand King, he's got his blink. In fact, he's not really farming that much. He doesn't really need to anymore. He's got his blink. That's all he really needs. And we do see that Venge is in so much trouble right now. The blink, the stun, the sand, the ultimate, every goes down. And yeah,
You can't run from heaven.
sad stuff. In the meanwhile, we do see Tide is going to only have his blink, but also his Force Staff. So even more maneuverability. We are seeing this from Tides nowadays. Just going for as much mobility as he can pick up. Get those good Ravages off, and even possibly escape afterwards.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now we are going to be seeing a team fight, possibly breaking out in a few moments. Yeah. The Yule Staff is going to go down. Not going to get the silence off as we see the ultimate from the Sand King. Gonna nuke down Vengeful Spirit. He only just died. Hurry getting away thanks to the Force Staff from the Blink. And the blink from Tide. And that's going to be another free kill. That's going to be 11-16 in favor of Team Alpha. As Team Alpha continue to slowly rack up these advantages. It's not a huge stomp like we saw in the last two games with Caster Knight, but at the same time, they're just creeping up, getting those pickoffs, getting those towers, and letting the anti-mage farm. And farm he is, as right now, he's around about 600 gold away from his Manta. Slightly later than I thought it was going to be. I thought he'd have it by now, but still very, very nice stuff. Currently 2k higher than the opposite on his team. And 1k higher than anyone else in the game. For almost 2k. It's going to be Satya farming like a boss. Because it's what anti-mages love doing. Farming.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's their
is
second
under
favourite
attack.
hobby. Next to hating magic. Now we do see there's a Weaver right here. Kind of farming up in the jungle himself. He's got his BKB. Not much else though. Probably trying to go for some damage next. As he really doesn't need to start
Radiant's
competing
bottom
against his
tower is
anti-mage.
under attack.
And probably guess he's going to go for a Desolator. It pushes down towers pretty quickly. It gives him huge amounts of damage with the minus armor. It kind of works also pretty well with the Vengeful Spirit, giving so much minor armor when those two stack together. We do see a possible attempt at a kill onto this Zeus. As we do see the Shigero going to make his way forward. Zeus, is he going to run forward too far? No, he's not. The Blink Dagger going to mean he's going to be perfectly fine. And just at the moment on this team of GG, this is just Team Blink. Blink on the Sand King, Blink on the Tide, Blink on the Zeus, inbuilt Blink on the Anti-Mages. Anti-Mages going straight up for a kill right now on Vengeful Spirit. Doesn't get the ultimate off though. It's only level 2, but he just finishes it off anyway. We see the Shigeru's in so much trouble right now. Zeus probably going to pick up the kill right now with the help of Sand King. And that's going to be another 2-for-0 exchanges. That is not good. We just saw right there that there was very little they could do against his anti-mages. Even with the stun from Enigma they've got and the minus armor, he can just manta out of that. And this game, I feel it's slipping away from Team Alpha right now. They need to do something to stop this bleeding. But I'm not quite sure what. As we see GG, they have the usual hero you'd asked for to make a comeback like this, the Tidehunter. I guess if they can get the 5-man Black Hole, or even the 4-man. But having said that, they basically need to get a 5-man Black Hole. Because you've got the Zeus, he's got his Lightning Bolt, you've got the Tidehunter with his Ravage, you've got the Anti-Mage with his ultimate, you've got the Scarlet Mage with the Silence, the Sand King with his stun. There's basically there's no hero on the opposite side that can't break this Enigma's stuff. Or at least until Enigma gets a BKB, which maybe he's going for next. It's like at this moment, I don't see the Enigma getting the 5-man Black Hole just simply because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He's going for more of the support aura build of Enigma. And while this is happening, at the moment, Gods realizes that it's the opposite team who has to take it to them. They got an anti-mage. He just kind of sat here, chilling out. He's got his Manta style 23 minutes in. 2.2k extra gold. Which means he's going to be pretty close to his heart already, about 1/3 of the way through, and it's only 23 minutes in the game. That's not what you want to hear if you're anyone on the opposite side right now. And that means that Bez need to stop the anti-mage, but every single time they've tried that, they've just given up so much death. We do see another kill coming out. Zeus killing the Death Prophet. Once more, Death Prophet going 1-4 right now, just not having the greatest game in the world. And this is probably going to be a push coming out from Alpha. They do have the ability to stop the push with that Death Pulse plus the annoying Eidolons. And in fact, Tidehunter is going to take a whole bunch of damage thanks to that. And that is the one advantage that Bez do have still. Their pushing power is a lot better. If they win one team fight, they can easily take a tier 2. But that, yeah.
That's all it takes to kill you?
Venge kind of disappeared right there. They saw the Venge, they killed the Venge.
Middle tower has fallen.
And there was very little the opposing team could do about it. They had a ward in a good position. They're probably going to realize there is a ward now there, considering that he blinked right into the jungle blind. But either way, that's going to be 2 tier 1 towers going down, and that means that currently Bez only have a 2-tower lead, and being against a team this push heavy lineup, being only 2 towers behind is absolutely huge. Oh, huge or not, we do have this, well, at the moment, not very much is going on the Bez's side, which is a little bit of a shame, because I have talked a lot about this anti-mage, and we do see not very much really coming out for them right now. We've got a Pipe of Insight mech on the Enigma, like they've had before. The Vengeful Spirit is trying to scrounge together a 4-staff, but nowhere near that. We do see the Death Prophet probably going for a BKB right now. We do see a farming up of the Bez side, but every single time they're farming up, they're just giving Anti-Mage more farm. The tier 1 tower is going to go down for this Anti-Mage, as he's just continuing to farm down Ancients, and he's almost at his heart. He's almost there. In fact, he could buy the recipe plus the Reaver. I guess he's just going to save for a buyback just in case, though. And in fact, this Enigma may be in a bunch of trouble. They are going to spot out this ward, though.
Double damage.
And they might just go for a Roshan, using those solutions to tank up, and Anti-Mage just soloing it. Because those solutions are actually pretty tanky for an anti-mage. As he just basically sat there, he's going to right-click it down in his own. Look at how much damage he's doing with that double damage. Double damage, double the fun. He solos it pretty easily, and that's going to be even more advantageous. Well, he can basically buy his heart right now. 26 minutes in, Battle of Fury, Manta style, heart. That is devastating stuff if your name is Bez. Now, while that's happening, we do see a smoke up, but this smoke up could huge backfire. We do see the Tide, they're going to go in on him, but that's not really the hero you want to go on. He's going to get force staffed out. He's going off the Ravage, gets a 4-man, the ultimate from Zeus. They're all going down, they haven't even really engaged yet. We do see the Sand King going to smoke up as well, and the mech is going to be good enough for him to be able to get back out. And the anti-mage, he just wants to go for it. He's got a Aegis, he's going to escape the silence. And that Ravage, sadly not doing very much apart from saving his life. And it does look like the Sand King, he wants to go for a little bit more. The stun is going to come out from the Jakiro. The pipe going to save him for a little bit longer. The swap also. And Harry may go down right now. But just look how tanky the Sand King is. And that's Sand King on his own. We do see the Death Prophet. He's got a pop his ultimate. He wants more kills. He's going in for more damage. In the meanwhile, the Enigma does go down in the background. The Weaver getting the right clicks. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 right now. This is a currently good team fight for Bez. But they didn't get the anti-mage. He's still got his Aegis. He's just going to go back to base and he's got his heart. He's now... Basically, this game has got even harder for Bez. Be careful, because Daddy's now home. Is he just going to keep farming up? Probably going to go for his buyback next. Just making sure he's got 3 lives. Then just go for a straight-up death push. Now, in the meanwhile, let's have a quick look at the Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter going for that... Refresh orb. Well, I guess he could be going for an orchid as well, but we don't really see Tides go for orchids compared to refreshers. As this anti-mage is blinking and farming all over the place. The highest by quite a margin. And then the opposite side, if they can get a good initiation like that, they can bring this back still. But every single moment they wait is another moment that makes this so much harder. As they did kind of cash out the Tide, force him to use his Ravage, managed to get the Enigma to mech back up and make it an okay team fight, 2-for-1. As well, if we have a quick look at the experience, 12k in favour of Alpha with a 10k gold lead. It kind of settled around there where that team fight happened, but team fight or not, it just isn't enough. As we see the Tide Hunter's going to be able to get out of there, realising his Kraken Shell kind of popped. Kind of in a little bit of trouble if they decide to go in on him. And in fact, they may decide to go in on him anyway. He's not the target they really want to kill, though. He's got so much tankability. And the Ice Blast is going to hit. Love the Ice Blast right there, but there's not going to be anyone else to really do very much. As that is, it looks like they're going to be a possible counter gank coming in from behind. These three working together as a 3-man squad, making sure there's no wards.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just like checking all the ward spot with his like infinite regen coming in for the Bloodstone. And they might want to go for a smoke right now. Or they would go for a smoke if they actually had one. We see the Zeus going towards his Aghanim Scepter. So even more magic damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But the push is starting to come back out from Bez. They do have a lot of it, but the anti-mage, he's got his Aegis. He wants to use it soon. It is going to run out pretty soon in terms of, like, I'd say 2 more minutes-ish. So they've got to take a fight soonish to make use of it. But at the same time, they just don't want to waste it. It's that issue you always have with an Aegis on a non-pushing team. Now, we see Jakiro being kind of annoying against the Sand King. And the Enigma anti-mage is going to find him. And House MD, he's going to need a doctor. But Avenge saves him at the last moment. The magic health from the pipe, saving him from the ultimate from the anti-mage. But at the same time, the Zeus comes in and finishes it off with his ultimate. And the Roman Emperor at 2 Brute.
Such sorcery shall not prevail.
And they're not going to go push down through mid. They've still got an Aegis, they've still got a Ravage, they've still got all the items they need. So why not just go for the super duper death push? And this may even be the, well, not quite the refresher for Tide right now. It's going to be getting pretty close as, yeah, we see the Death Prophet. the ultimate a little bit of an
Radiant's middle
overkill,
tower is
but
under attack.
they have a fortification, but can they even do anything with it? As in, their Death Prophet is going to be down for another 50 seconds. The Enigma is going to be up with a black hole. No blink to go with it, though.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
No blink, no shoes, no service, as they say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As we do have King, he's just look at those right clicks and his heart. He can just basically tank the hits. He doesn't need to ever not stop hitting this tower. As we do see that Weaver's actually doing a whole bunch of damage. Tide is going to be able to get out of there. The stun from Harry is going to be perfect, though. The buyback from Death Prophet. The ultimate is going to be pretty good. Is it going to be blinking coming in from... Well, Tide Hunter, no, there's not. As we do see that Sand King may be the only one to go down. He's going to dodge, barely getting out with bare minimum of health. The Exorcism is going to get popped, taking down the Scarlet Mage, and they are going to be trying to chase down these last two heroes. But they all just get out with the blinks, and it was in favor of Bez, just because they managed to stop the push, but they did give him an Exorcism, and there's going to be a Ravage on this Tide Hunter for the next team fight coming up, with not a opposite to Death Prophet's ultimate coming out on the same side. Now, while we're sat here waiting, we are going to see their harassment coming out once again, but just look how fast they can clear the waves. Those Eidolons just don't stand the chance. The little blue dude's like, yeah. Their lives may be short, but these two kind of make their lives even shorter. And while this is happening, guess what Anti-Mage is doing? It begins with F and rhymes with harm. It's farm. Yep, currently 4.5k gold already, so he's got his buyback. Doesn't have that Aegis anymore, didn't manage to use it, sadly. But, well, when you're this far ahead, I guess not using your Aegis just means that you're doing pretty well. As the Anti-Mage is going to be looking to take down the tier 2 tower. I'm not sure they can actually stop this.
Radiant's bottom tower
As in,
is under attack.
King is just basically tanking the tower hits, and his heart is more than happy to heal him back up. The Zeus also picking himself up with Boots of Travel, so even more mobility. Probably going to be seeing Boots of Travel coming out from all these heroes. As
Radiant's bottom tower
do any of these heroes have a TP scroll? Yeah, all the heroes do have a TP scroll, so if they do decide to keep pushing this tier 3 tower, they're not going to get out pushed in a crazy base race that they can't ever win. And it looks like they are going to be going back to defend this tier 2 tower. If we have a look at the Tide Hunter, he is going to get stunned up in that pulse. Going to Kraken Shell out of it, though. As Kraken Shell level 4 is actually pretty sweet. It's only 450 damage, and so that means he will Kraken Shell around about 3 or 4 times in any team fight. And that's going to force everyone back once again, and once again Bez continues to slowly but surely creep behind in terms of golden experience. Right now 15k behind, and most of that is on this Anti-Mage. He's practically, well, he's about 30% higher than the opposing carry. 22k versus 15. Just very, very nice stuff. Well, 50%. And he's just farming. He's farming, he's got his Skull Basher. Probably going to go for his Abyssal as soon as he can buy it, or as soon as he's able to buy that plus buyback. As obviously, if they can kill the Anti-Mage and he doesn't have buyback, that's when things get interesting. We do see Scarlet Mage go pick up another kill here. Just Weaver kind of thinking he could get out of that. The silence says no. And that is one of the issues with a BKB, that if you get stunned up first, you can't really pop the BKB. Not with the amount of damage that Scarlet Mage plus silence, plus everything else will do together. Now we are going to be going into our 35th minute of the game right now. And Tide Hunter has his refresher. And at this point, I'm not quite sure what Bez can get to counter all this. As in Weaver, he is going for that huge amount of damage, but I just feel that he does still have his 9-second BKB, so he's got a shot to bring it back with just huge face melty amounts of damage. But even then, there's an Anti-Mage who also has huge face melty amount of damage with a lot more survivability. And 4.7k health, and he's going to have an Abyssal Blade pretty soon. And we do actually see another Blink Dagger joining the Blink Dagger party. Surprisingly, the Kira picking up a Blink Dagger before the Enigma even does. So, a bit surprisingly, it looks like Enigma's going for the BKB first. But I'm not quite...
Radiant's
I
top
guess that
tower
makes sense
has
because you can't
fallen.
really hit a 5-man black hole anyway. And without a BKB, your black hole is basically useless. But at the same time, I feel the game is just going to end before he manages to get his BKB plus Blink Dagger. As we're sitting here, 9-21, and
'Tis
we
mine.
have seen a few pickoffs come out from Bez right now. But nothing truly major. As it looks like we're going to go for a Roshan, and Roshan's back up. Hasn't quite got his cheese yet. You know, it's his second death. He's kind of thinking about starting up a dairy, but not really got the planning permission through yet. But that means that this Roshan is going to go down. Going to give this Anti-Mage even more survivability. Even buying up, so I don't think he can buy back if he dies. He might be able to. He definitely will be able to after this Roshan. And the Roshan is going to come out.
Roshan has
Anti-Mage
fallen
picks
to the
up
dark.
even more survivability. Survivability, the name of the game. And he's got his Abyssal
Dire's
Blade.
top
He's
tower is
basically
under
ready.
attack.
The only thing he really needs is level 25, just to push aside those trees and be like, yes, I have finished farming. And just look how fearless he is. He's basically going, oh, there's 5 players in my enemy jungle. I guess I will just run face first into them, because they can't do anything. Haha. Now, we do see the 4 staffs are going to come out, and Roman Emperor doing a pretty good job, and that's going to mean he's going to be able to get TP away. Very good stuff from the Vengeful Spirit right now. Dodging that Scarlet Mage ultimate. But while this happens, this Anti-Mage is always the problem. Now, again, the Anti-Mage just kind of stops scaling off after a bit, but so do the rest of the heroes on Bez's side. They don't really have that Spectre, they don't have that Tiny, they don't have that carry that says, I am a hard carry, I will always win you the late game if you give me enough time. And I would say that out of all these heroes, again, like I said at the beginning of the game, Anti-Mage is the hardest carry of them all. All the carries were special, but Anti-Mage was the most carriest. Yes, that's now a word. And Anti-Mage, he's got Aegis, he's got Heart, he's got Assault Blade, and he's got a tier 3 tower.
Radiant's
Just
middle
look how
tower
much,
has
how many
fallen.
spells he's taken. The Pulse is going to kind of force him back for a little bit, but he's just going to sit back, wait for his Heart to tick away, and now he's ready to go. He's ready to go party again. Now we do see that Enigma has not quite his BKB. He's kind of brought his recipe rather than the damage, because I don't think he's going to be able to get the damage anytime soon. As the siege is kind of started, but now on the opposite side coming out from Team Alpha. And at this point, both these two sides just kind of wait. Oh, we do see a rather nice ward coming up, but we see the Anti-Mage. He's going to jump in. The swap is going to be good. House MD, though, in so much trouble. He needs a Dr. ASAP, as we do see Anti-Mage actually going down pretty quickly to the ultimate from
Radiant's
a
middle
Death Prophet,
tower
but
is
he's
under
going to get
attack.
out. He's going to get out scot-free, and they popped the ultimate without really popping any ultimates of their own. They did give up the Sanking ultimate, but that's not the big one. The big one is the Tide, Ravage,
Dire's
and his
bottom
double ultimate.
tower is
So all
under
they need to do is
attack.
just wait until this Death Prophet. Wait until her little green glowy friend things stop glowing and being green
Dire's
friends.
bottom tower is under
And
attack.
now they could just go in. Now they could just go in, and without Enigma hitting an amazing black hole with Anti-Mage already going to be regenerating up pretty quickly, and the double Ravage coming out is almost like a double Rainbow,
Dire's
but
bottom
a lot
tower
more
is under
painful.
attack.
I don't really see how they can stop this push.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As we see the Anti-Mage is going to go for the kill. As we do see the stuns are coming out. Meanwhile, the magic damage is going to get nuked out. The swaps have been good from Venge, but now he's going to go down for his insolence. The Weaver's going to be able to time-lapse out of his damage, but meanwhile, the Racks are just going down. They just don't care. The Death Prophet's going to buy back, but what can she do with no Exorcism? We do see the Weaver is going to get silenced up. He just had the BKB off cooldown. A little bit too late, a little bit too heavy. We do see that Anti-Mage may give up his Aegis right now. And in fact, it looks like he's going to go pop the on the buyback Weaver. The Weaver brought back. We do see the ultimate game popped out. It's going to pick up 3.
Barracks are under
And now, though, the double Ravage. 1. And they don't even need to. As in, that's just how far ahead we are right now in this team fight. It's currently a 2 versus 3. Make that a 1 versus 3. The GG well played gets called. Bears have said they've had enough. And that is going to be a win on the board for Team Alpha. And a much needed one at that.
Dire victory.
As we see right now that GG, they just gave their anti-mage so much space with really nice ganks on middle, really nice rotations, meaning that the team fight pushing, although it kind of started from Team Bears, they never really were able to fully push it out, get all those tier 2s down, and just starve the anti-mage of the farm like they were trying to do. Instead, they got counter-ganked, they lost a bunch of team fights. When they tried to kill the anti-mage, they kind of got caught out, and it meant that GG just kept taking the lead, kept taking every single advantage. And that means that GG, they're going to go 2-0-3 right now in the Pro League. So one game away from going back up to that 50%. I think that means they move up to... Let's have a look. Where do they move up to? Probably around about 8th. Yeah, they're going to be 8th right now, but there's a few teams that played less games than them below them. But either way, probably around about 9th. In between there, as you know, 2 wins isn't too bad at this stage in the game. In fact, only 7 teams out of the 16 have more than 2 wins at this point, or have 2 or more. While meanwhile, we do see that Bears, they're going to basically be forced to stay in their 10th position with this loss, meaning they're going to go to 1-0-3, so they've got to desperately pick up some wins in a few later games they've got coming up, and they do have some pretty hard games in this league. You've got stuff like Section 8, you've got BBC, Aftershock, House of Gamers, Central of Fear, the Hee, lots and lots of really good teams, all threatening to at least get into the playoffs. But still, this has been basically casting on Rasmus TV. If you've enjoyed what we've done, you can check us out on... You can check us all out on the Twitch TV, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, which I'll go put in the chat right now. And until then, I thank everybody for watching. Definitely go check out all the streams, and I will see you later. I will see you another time, probably on the Rasmus stream instead of mine.